No, stop. Come on. For real. Stop. Seriously, stop. It's not that serious. No. Okay.
Nigga, what is this?
Oh, God. Okay. You ever laugh so hard you start sweating? Reading this shit gave my abs a workout. Okay, so let's get the easy stuff out the way real quick before we dive into the pages proper, okay? The book is trash. We already knew it was gonna be trash. It's ass on ass on ass. Y'all don't need me to tell you that. You got eyes, they work. You can see, you can read. We already know that this is a self-insert story made by Mariko Tamaki, where she completely butchers the character of Starfire. And Starfire ain't even the subject of the book, it's her daughter, Mandy. That ain't changed. We already know that the art sucks. I mean, I get how it's not some people's cup of tea, and considering how this is using characters from mainstream comic books, it's really not my cup of tea either. But then I also used to fan over Steven Universe. So I can tolerate art style like this. I could get past the art if this were a story that I actually was invested in. And I'm not, okay? I'm really just not. Starfire, who is written in a way that lets you know that Mariko Tamaki really doesn't know shit about Starfire. Which, oops, pal, big surprise, okay? Who didn't see that coming 80,000 miles away? Someone on Twitter pointed this out, and this really makes a lot of sense. Mariko Tamaki writes Starfire as if she only ever watched the 2003 Cartoon Network cartoon for Teen Titans. It's clear from the way she talks, never uses contractions, always puts the in front of everything. All that stuff is ripped straight from the 03 cartoon. And I'm not here to shit on the 03 cartoon. I could turn it on today and watch it and still love it. But that's only one version of Starfire from her 40 plus years of existence in publication history. And the show took some liberties with her character, which is why the cartoon is not the best place to pull from if you're trying to write her accurately. They write her as if she's trying to be a good mom instead of actually just being a good mom. Starfire is one of the most compassionate, empathetic, and free, lovey type of characters out there. She's essentially a superpowered hippie. Hell, the only things that she hates are people like Blackfire who want to enslave her and cause mass murder, mass genocide, stuff like that. But even then, Starfire is not the worst mother. And yet Mandy just can't stand her. Starfire is conventionally attractive with a hot body. Mandy is not. Starfire has powers and is a superhero and is beloved by everyone. Mandy is not. This could have been done really well. They could have explored not only Mandy feeling isolated and stuff, but they could have also dealt with Starfire and raising a kid on her own, which is another problem. Where the daddy? Who the daddy? Who the pappy? Mandy here wouldn't be having these bad issues if there were a father in her life. Obviously, what we have here is a classic case of a particular brand of feminism that prevents the writer from writing their female characters in any way that is believable, likable, or relatable. Mandy is not a likable protagonist. Starfire is barely likable. But the main problem here is its execution, or its lack thereof. They really don't do anything with the stuff they put up. They just throw a bunch of stuff at you. But they really don't do anything with it. There's too much time spent with Mandy and Lincoln dicking around at school, skipping class, and Mandy flirting with Claire or trying to flirt with her. This is worse than Disney Channel level drama. This is worse than anything you could think of because they tell you stuff that could be cool and then they do nothing with it. Like, imagine, if you would, someone throwing a ball up for an alley-oop and the ball just staying suspended in animation. It don't even come down. So we can't even say it missed the shot The ball never came down for the shot to be missed. Yeah, I know you kind of want to know about that thing in the panel that you saw back there that might be kind of cool, but nah, we gotta cut to another shot of Mindy dunking on Chuds in the playground, because that's totally a thing that happens in this book, because Mindy has to dunk on Chuds in the playground. I think what I hate the most about this character, in said scene that I just referenced, where she's dunking on Chuds in the playground, that's actually kind of funny. You know, not fully funny, but it got a nice little chuckle out of me. Seems like something a character like that would do. That's character. Why don't we see more of that? This is why the book is Krakatoa of Cringe. Because not only is the premise meh, not only is this something that is the running headline on whoasked.for this.com, when it does manage to bring up something, they drop that shit. And then, of course, we have to get to the part where she fights Blackfire because, you know what? No, I'm going to save that for the actual read itself. So, I will return with an actual read through, and God help me. Alcohol will be needed for when that happens.
I used to say, just because you know my mom doesn't mean you know me. But that's kind of not true. Because really, I'm like the opposite of Starfire.
Mandy, I am home.
Coming. I am the anti-Starfire.
Okay, right off the bat, I can tell this story's main problem is going to be its delivery of internal dialogue. Even though this is a comic book, a YA graphic novel, which means pictures, so much is being relayed that are just her thoughts. Now, if they wanted to do more of a slice of life kind of touch to everything, they could have done that and still had it be visually appealing. But so much is just coming from Mandy's mind. The problem with that is that no one wants to read 160 or 170 pages worth of some dumpy goth girl thinking negatively about herself and the world.
Because it fucking sucks. Because it fucking sucks.
Although my mom has stopped talking to me about my appearance, she hasn't liked how I look since I was 12. She wears less than a yard of fabric to work every day, yet somehow, I'm the one who's dressing weird.
This face right here sums up the whole thing. Look at the self-disgust. Look at the shame. This fucking face is the entirety of the book. Just soak it all in. And yada yada yada. Mandy goes on to describe more stuff about her best friend Lincoln, aka the only male who has several lines and matters a dollop to the story. Although at least he has a backbone, which is way more than I can say for the quote unquote males in Newbie, a real one. So there's that. Anyway, fast forward beyond that bullshit, because we got to get to the crux of this book. What is plaguing Mandy so much? Is it existential crisis? Is it her trying to figure out her place in the world? No, it's the fact that she doesn't want to go to college. Also, we get to see her beautiful, bright personality.
Mandy, even if you're planning to defer college, I cannot stress enough the importance of
I'm not going to college.
a college education is the next step.
Toward being in debt the rest of my life? Look, this idea that everyone has to do the same thing to get ahead is a scam. No offense. I appreciate your help, but I'm not changing my mind.
That also summarizes my thoughts on this whole thing. Because, oh, Jesus. Oh, look, here's Lincoln. Handle your bold decision to throw away your future.
As an anarchist, you should be chucking this forced filtering of future ambitions with me.
I'm going to college to destroy the system. What are you even going to do with your life after high school? And then we get some groupies. They flock in. They want Mandy to talk about Starfire. Tell Starfire we said hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, it's flashback time, bitch. We got to go to kindergarten.
A brief history of what it's like to go to school when your mom is Starfire, where no one believes that you don't have powers, but you don't. Where even after several years of no powers, Kids continue to believe that you are a super-powered liar and undercover something. You are not. Where the most annoying of the students form a titan groupie club and do research so they can ask annoying and invasive questions.
You guys are assholes. See, there we go. Look at him standing up for little Mandy. We start to really get into one of this book's bigger problems. Not only is the premise wholly uninteresting, but it really doesn't do anything with that either. Like I said earlier, we spend so much time in Mandy's head, going through flashbacks, having her narrate everything, instead of tempering that and tying it into the current day. Like, we get it. She doesn't have powers. Did we really have to spend so much time going over other kids giving her crap about it, passing around rumors about her having powers and such and such and such? And if this were the last time this happens, it really wouldn't be that big a deal. But get ready for this to happen for the whole book. The whole book.
I'm going to France. French people are sophisticated. They read and eat pastries. And most importantly, French people don't have superheroes. So there's no way they're gonna care about Starfire. Sacrez-vous. Au revoir.
I was watching a review of I'm Not Starfire by England Teen earlier today, and he brought up a great point. So many of Mandy's choices in this book are all based on other people. She really doesn't have any agency. Everything she wants to do, everywhere she wants to go, is because of what somebody else is doing. She wants to get away from her annoying mom and all the spotlight that follows her, so she wants to go to France. She doesn't want to go to college because I'm a rebel, and y'all ain't gonna tell me what to do. So what does she want to do? Who is Mandy? What does Mandy want? Those are questions that are never answered in this book. A book about Mandy. Thanks, I hate it. And then we got to get to the part where we meet her crush. It's Claire, the super attractive, super popular, super capable girl that everyone loves, is being crushed on hard by the dumpy little toad who hates everybody.
What do you want to do?
I mean, like, whatever, you know. You want to do stuff. Would it not be easier to be flying through space fighting aliens right now?
You know, I actually kind of like this panel right here. I'm not gonna lie. Not bad. Not the worst page. Oh, and then we scroll, and then we get back to terrible pages. Don't worry, because yeah, this is totally a fight. This is totally a Starfire fight, guys. We gotta have her fly around with the pew-pews, and she's shooting scarabs in space. We got Raven going all Azarath, Metreon, but no Zinthos, cause why? And more scarabs, and there's Cyborg he's shooting at nothing. Just shooting at nothing, and then we got Beast Boy. Oh, excuse me, no, it's just Beast now. He's a dog in space. This was written by a human being, and drawn also by another human being in 2021. Okay, what else? Oh god, man, I'm bored. I'm so bored. Like, the cringe is boring me. That shouldn't be possible, but here we are. Could it be because we're on page 24 of this book, and this is the most action we've seen so far? And more teasing from the kids, because they're dumb. They like her mom's tits. Ha ha ha, so funny. Ha 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 ha. And then we get to this panel. Now, I teased this on the Bird app. A lot of people don't even know what threw me so much about this page. I mean, first of all, Mandy, Jesus Christ, girl, please get some Neutrogena, get some skincare products, please. And I get it, okay? They made her look like this on purpose because they had to make her fat and have bad skin, and with all that product in her hair, there's no way her hair can be in any sort of good shape. But I mean, that's just not appealing to look at, man. No one wants to look at a pale ogre walk around for 189 pages. But that ain't even the thing that threw me about this page. If I can direct your attention to the left side, because oh boy. Now if this weren't current year, I would say the black guy, but it's current year, so I can't even say in good conscience that this is the black guy. But just look at him. We'll assume, we'll do a bad and assume gender here. Look at this guy. Look at him.
I said look at it!
Look at the kicks. Look at the kicks. First of all, it's racist. Y'all had the black dude, one of the only black people in this story, be one of the only ones I've seen walking around with tennis shoes on. So there you go. But then also, this fool tucked his pants legs into the shoes. So you mean to tell me that he's supposed to be such a hip, cool black guy filled with the swag that he just wears sneakers to a private school? First of all, they look like shit. Like literally, he look like he just been kicking turds down the street. But then he also tucked his pants legs into his shoes. I hate this book so much. Y'all do not understand. Claire wants to meet up with Mandy so they can do shiz after school and study and do the project and it's cool. Yeah, she's all spaced out, guys. Because she's going over her crush's house and they're gonna study and they're gonna do the homeworks. And then boom, she blew stuff up. Oh hey, look, Mandy sort of has a personality for like half a second, and she smiles, and she doesn't look absolutely atrocious. But then something happens, and now she's being a bitch again, and now she's telling Claire that she's not going to college, and she's all like, I walked out my SAT. And everything. Here we go, anxiety, guys. Come on, it's anxiety time. Anxiety. How do we show anxiety? It's the clock. It's ticking. It's click, tick, 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 tick. And she's trying to take the test. Squeeze! And then she stands up and she runs out because her last name's Anders, which means her last name is her mom's first name. And what is happening?
Wow. So, screw college? I mean, what's the point?
Once again, this book owns itself. What's the point? Yes, I could ask that about this whole book. What's the point of this? And she's walking home and she's texting Lincoln and she's getting the spooks and she starts dipping and because the lights are turning off, and then she goes to her house and it looked like the Coneheads or somebody live here. I don't know what this is. Anyway, little piglet is like, I'm gonna go to my room, and she says she had the pizza, and she starts downing some of Starfire's little kebab doodles anyway, because of course she does.
Is there something that is upsetting you?
There are a number of topics we don't currently discuss in my house. Number 1, my appearance, which I think I mentioned. Number 2, my biological father, although I think I know. And number 3, my lack of powers, which all just rolls into one big thing. Me. What's wrong with me? Which is to say that my mom isn't mad about me walking out my SAT, because she doesn't know. Fortunately, my mom is many things, but psychic is not one of them. Watch this. That guy is clearly a douchebag, and I ran out of my SAT because I'm not going to college.
Okay, have fun with the homework.
See?
Okay, so yeah, we get more of Mandy just having her inner monologue narrate everything and things being just shown in the most blah way possible. And oh yeah, we get to see more of Mandy's winning personality because she doesn't want to participate, guys. So when it's time to go out there and play softball, is she gonna catch the ball? Nope.
You can't be disappointed if you're already walking away.
Are you sure, Mandy? Because I'm pretty sure I walked away from this book at least 12 times in the past hour, and yet I am still thoroughly disappointed in everything I'm reading. Okay, so Claire invites Mandy to skip with her and her friends are all like assholes, and Claire's friends start grilling Mandy because of course they do. Claire tells us you're not going to college.
So it's like aliens don't go to college? That's not prejudice. That's just me trying to get information.
I understand. No, Dad. We don't go to college. We undergo initiation. It's pretty barbaric by Earthling standards. A blood rite to defend the honor of my family. A battle that two enter and only one leaves. To win, I will summon the power of my ancestors. Then I will assume my true form, destroy my enemies, will be ripped into shreds and tossed to the cosmos to rot among the stars.
Seriously?
No.
That was actually kind of funny. I actually liked that part. I think it showed how Mandy does actually have a sense of humor and can lean into these stereotypes that people have of her, so why not pick with them? I mean, they've been picking with her forever. Honestly, this is the most endearing thing that Mandy has done this whole time. That was actually a good scene. Hold on to it because it's really the only scene of its kind that we're going to get this entire book. And we're here. We are at the scene here. We got to get to the scene where Starfire, who clearly is on like 8 different brands of drugs, is going to talk to Mandy about her future. I already did this part in the Fake Ass Nerd News segment, so I'm not going to go over it again. But essentially, it's just Starfire doing her best to be a good mother by asking Mandy questions about what she wants to do with her life, what she wants to do in college and everything. She ordered Chinese food, but Mandy's like, nah man, fuck this noise, because she already knows she don't want to go to school, so she kind of just blows up and was like, why are you digging in my life? And then that's when we get because that's what the responsible parents do. No, it's the not. And more making fun of the way Starfire talks. Oh, you're such a good daughter, Mandy. I want my daughter one day is just like you.
I don't actually know anything about how people on my mother's planet, my motherland, celebrate birthdays. If they even have birthdays. Since they probably don't have regular Earth years. My mom has never celebrated a birthday. I don't even know when it is. Or how old she is.
I've had it!
Yeah, and if you think any of that is gonna mean a damn lick of anything to this story, you are mistaken. Y'all already know what time it is. None of it matters. Backstory, planet, lore, all that shit.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
You know what does matter? Mandy flirting with Claire. Now they're waving at each other in class because they're all cute and shit. Okay, so now we gotta go to Starfire's house because now they're studying over there. But, nope, because the Titans is there. We having a meeting, guys. And little Miss, whatever you want to call this here, is big mad. So they're all watching TVs. And she's like, I never had a girlfriend. Then they about to part ways back in the day. And Claire gives, Mandy a nice big hug, and it's all sweet and it's cute, and then she's scrolling on the Facebooks, and SpaghettiOs, Claire uploaded a selfie that she took with the Titans, and that gives Mandy a big sad because now you know she how dare she, and she's all like, screw you to Claire.
Look, if there's something up your butt, you should just say it.
My butt? How about you took a picture at my house and posted it online? Didn't you?
What's wrong with that?
Guess.
Hey, like you're so special I can't take a picture at your house. You're kind of being a dick about this.
You should be used to it by now. Your life is full of dicks.
And there we have it, folks. The creme de la creme. Ooh la la creme a la Mandy. The double Boyd. Flipping her crush to double Boyd. Now, yeah, you could say, okay, it was a weird move, taking a picture at the house, and she should have known better than do that. That Mandy wouldn't have liked it if that. But this response is completely absurd. It's completely absurd. You're probably wondering, where is all this leading to? And so far, we have seen Mandy stuff her face, Mandy relent the fact that she is the daughter of a superhero who is super attractive and has the powers. Mandy stuff her face, Mandy talk shit to Lincoln, Mandy flirt or not flirt with Claire, Mandy stuff her face, and then Mandy break her phone when she throws it on the ground after finding out that Claire took a selfie in her house with superheroes. And she's big mad. She's big mad. And life hard. Life's so hard because my mom famous, I not. My mom pretty, have powers, I'm not. People want me be like mom, but I'm not. And so that gives me a big sad, which then turns into a big mad. And so I'm gonna be angry at the world. This book is anal leakage. Then she gets home and now Starfire has a big mad because she found out that Mandy walked out on the S to the A to the T. The big explosion. Oh, these faces, what are they? I don't even know what they are. And then Mandy's like, you know what? Fuck this shit, I'm out. Literally says stomp, stomp, stomp. And you're probably still wondering where any of this is going. The character, there usually is a reason why they're going through what they go through. This is usually where the character undergoes an arc. That's right, y'all remember that, right? An arc? You may have forgotten it after reading this book, but I'll remind you. That's when they usually go through something, usually something to do with a want or desire that they have, as well as some greater need that they also have. They go through some type of change where they learn something about themselves, the world, go through some trials, they have some victories, some failures, probably a few monumental failures before having a big revelation, learning the truth, learning the lesson, conquering whatever was holding them back. They achieve their ultimate goal, come out on the other side, ultimately better for having gone through the experience or experiences. Now I want you to keep what I just said in mind. We got to get to the good part, bitch, because it's time. It's time for Auntie Blackfire. That's right, Auntie Blackfire shows up. It's Commander with some other Tamaranians, and she's like, it's time for Mandy to meet her fate. Now, what does that mean? Well, it turns out that whole spiel that Mandy went on in the playground when she was quote-unquote dunking on chuds, turns out that was actually a nice little bit of foreshadowing, because that's actually what's about to happen. Mandy has to fight Blackfire. Since Starfire abandoned her position to be the ruler of Tamaran, that means that Mandy could also challenge Blackfire for said rule of Tamaran. And now we get to see what a terrible mother Starfire is. She's just such a bad mother, guys. She's so bad that she doesn't want her daughter to fight her battle. So Starfire is like, she just submits herself to Blackfire. And now, I haven't talked much about Starfire during this review because there really hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. But I really do need to touch on just how badly she's written in this story. There are numerous versions of Starfire, and regardless of which one your favorite is, they all hold some sort of validity, unless it's a live action version, but we don't speak of that version in this house. But this one right here, as I said earlier in this video, Mariko Tamaki is clearly unfamiliar with any version of Starfire outside of the one from the 03 cartoon. I can't see OG Starfire going down like this. She'd be planning, I feel like OG Starfire would be planning some shit to get out here and fight. Like, she wouldn't just give up like this. I really feel like this is not the move. This book really only had one character it needed to get right, and that's Starfire. And it can't even do that right. But again, that's what happens when you put someone on a book who doesn't give a damn about adapting any type of source material or adequately depicting characters who've already existed. They just want to write their own shit. They have no way to really put themselves in another person's shoes. All they can do is reimagine people as them. But nonetheless, here we are, and it's climax time, bitch. Starfire decides to tell Mandy about her past and why she came to Earth and everything, because it turns out that Mandy's almost 17 years old and Starfire ain't told her shit.
You know that I come from the planet Tamaran. My father was the king of the Tamaranians. My sister was older than me and would have been heir to the throne, but her powers did not manifest as quickly as mine, and my father felt I should be the ruler of our people. My sister was angry. She wanted what I did not. Power. Blackfire left us, full of rage. When Blackfire returned, she was a warrior. As powerful as me, if not more. She had an army. She destroyed everything. Our parents were killed by the Citadel.
Gotta love this nice little Cliff Notes version of Starfire's backstory here. If you're gonna take characters that exist and put them into some slice of life drama-filled story, don't just yada yada through the backstory, because this is written by someone who does not really know Starfire's backstory and marketed to people who most likely also don't know Starfire's backstory. So when you just yada yada through shit and get stuff wrong, leave important stuff out, this tells nothing. This tells nothing. This is a completely pointless story. None of this was necessary here. I mean, it was necessary, but the way you're doing it is so ass, it may as well not happen at all.
After Blackfire conquered Tamaran, she took me prisoner. I escaped. I could have faced her then, but I did not. I had seen her destroy everything I knew. I was afraid. I fled and came to Earth.
No mention of the fights that they had. No mention of Starfire breaking free from her slave captivity. No mention of any of that shit. Just, no, she was scared. She ran away because she was scared, guys. Starfire ran because she was afraid.
I've had it.
And it's time to have the big fight, and we're gonna have it on the field of the big game so that the school can all see Mandy get beat to death by her evil auntie.
Citizens of Earth, prepare to witness a battle for the throne of Tamaran. See the obliteration of the weak and the triumph of the strong. Let the prophecy be fulfilled and justice served. Daughter of Starfire, step forward and meet your fate!
Any final declarations? Sister, your battle is with me.
Mandy and Starfire about to get obliteratized. So she's gonna try to head her with Starbolt, and they're gonna be zip zapping and boom bapping. And Mandy's out of breath because of course she is. And Starfire takes a big old blast to the sternum. And Mandy looks up and she sees her mother, who she's been hating this entire book. She has her revelation.
Now I see, for the first time, the true opposite of my mother. This person who only wants to see the end of things, who wants nothing but violence and revenge. The anti-Starfire, it isn't me. It's her.
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait, no. How do we get here? You have been hating on your mom and everything that your mom does all book. And your revelation isn't, maybe I need to stop being a self-absorbed little trollop. Maybe I need to get out of my own head and off my own ass. And no, I don't have powers, but my mom is up there about to sacrifice her life for me. Where's the understanding of yourself and how you need to not be the thing you've been all story? How you need to not be that? Where's that? It's all, you're, like Englentine said in his review, Mandy's entire arc, her entire struggle is internal. But now all of a sudden, when it's time for her revelation, now everything's external. The anti-Starfire is her evil aunt who she just met. And she just got a little Spark Notes version of her backstory for. So now all of a sudden she knows the truth. And now she's really having a big sad. And then Blackfire comes in and gets ready to finish them both off because of course it's time for that.
Why don't you just fuck off and die?
And she gets skinned in the face with a slice from the scepter. And now she's getting ragdolled. Goal. Is this really a page? Is this a real page in this real ass book? I hate my real ass life because this is what I'm doing with it. Reading this shite. And Blackfire is all being all mwahaha. But Mandy is like, nah, I ain't got time to listen to that. Because my mom is about to die. And now, guess what? I can't let that happen. And so it's time to have the powers. And I got to glow. Shout out to Willie Hutch.
You're the first person from my Tamaran family I've ever met and you suck! Prepare to die, and have the chunks of your body tossed into space to freeze.
Yeah, Mandy tanks a shot. She tanks a shot from Blackfire, the likes of which downed Starfire. And then she retaliates with her own big boomer, and then she starts doing energy volley missile barrage like Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z.
This is from me and my mom and the whole planet you wrecked because you're an asshole!
She's getting ready to finish her off with one last big one until she's stopped dead by Mommy Dearest. And now Starfire can totally finish off her sister, who she previously couldn't beat because Mandy weakened her. So Starfire opened the jar, but Mandy loosened it. And then the Titans come in and they arrest Blackfire and the other Tamaranians, who all just stood around and did absolutely fuck all while this was happening. Somebody runs up and asks for an autograph, but it's not for Starfire. No, it's for Mandy. They want Mandy's autograph, guys, because Mandy's a hero. Now, she won this fight through the power of the Mary Sue. What are the consequences of her actions? What has happened in the story negative to her or anyone else that was purely the cause of her being such a terrible person? Did Starfire suffer because of that? No, Starfire was going to suffer anyway because she and Blackfire have an age-old sibling rivalry. Did her friends suffer? No, they're just fine. Did her friends get super mad at her? No, not really. She was mad at everybody else. Everybody was trying to make up with her. As much as it doesn't seem like it, Mandy is a tremendous Mary Sue. Yeah, she is a big time Mary Sue, because one of the hallmarks of being a Mary Sue is the story goes out of its way to benefit you. You don't have to earn anything. You don't have to struggle, fail, or learn at all. This story just gives you shit. This story gave Mandy everything. First, it gave her a dope-ass mom, even when Starfire wasn't being the best mom. She was still a dope-ass mom. The story gave her an awesome best friend who always sticks up for her, a really attractive crush, an awesome, quote-unquote, awesome showdown in front of the entire student body. This is her first fight with powers, and she whooped Blackfire's ass. Bitch, how? If that ain't the most Mary Sue shit this side of Ray, I don't know what is. And now people really like her, and she's becoming her own hero, and her superhero name is Mandy, because of course it is. And she comes out, and yay, this is my outfit now, guys. I walk out looking like I stole Rogue's clothes from X-Men Evolution, and there's pink in my hair, because of course it is. And that's it. That's the book. That's I'm Not Starfire. Maybe I was never failing. Maybe I was just becoming me. That's some Mary Sue shit if I ever heard it. Yeah, the end. Yeah, thank you. End. Oh my gosh. This really was the Krakatoa of cringe, guys. From the shite not jokes to the absolute snore fest that was 99% of this book, to the absolute unlikability of Mandy. She had one good scene where she dunked on chuds in a damn playground, making light of them making fun of her and leaning into it and making them scared. Other than that, it's ass, okay? Starfire is nothing like the actual Starfire. She's barely even like the Teen Titans cartoon Starfire. Nothing happens in this book that is of consequence or import. Not a damn thing matters because we all knew where this was going. But the most frustrating part about this book is that it didn't have to be this bad. They wanted to do a slice of life young adult take on some superhero stuff. Shoot, I've been watching slice of life anime since I was in freaking high school. But this just did it in the most boring and ass way possible. Because no one attached to this book wanted to tell an actual story. No one actually wanted to see what would happen if Starfire had a daughter who was the exact opposite of her, what that would mean for said daughter, what that would mean for Starfire, how they would actually interact, how would said daughter grow into her own person. None of these things are genuinely explored. Everything is just thrown at us and told to us, and we go from scene to scene to scene with no actual growth or change happening. Now, we could have had plenty of growth and change happening if they didn't spend so much time on all this Disney Channel teen bullshit. And the only thing that makes me happy when it comes to this book is the knowledge that it will only be remembered for being terrible and nothing else. 166 pages of volcanic lava cringe. Thank y'all for watching and listening. I had to do it because y'all know I stands me some Starfire. Had to be done. I feel like we did her good. But then Titan Season 3 is dropping soon, so we'll be here again soon enough. I'm Animaine, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.